Hello everyone, welcome to the Nut House. Today I wanted to share with you a really easy way to stock your pantry with green beans. Either the beans that you've grown, or even if you've been to the farmer's market and got your own fresh green beans. This is actually my favorite thing to can because it's so easy. So we've planted a raised bed with 288 green beans. And we've also planted a row of beans on an arch on some cattle panels. And so they're just now starting to come in. So I've washed the beans and snapped them. And now we're going to start filling our jars. I'm doing quart-sized jars here, but you can also do pints. You would just adjust the time for the pints. So if you've never tried home canned green beans, you're really in for a treat. I personally like them even better than fresh green beans picked and cooked the same day. For some reason, they're just so good. They are definitely better than the ones you get in the store. There's no comparison to that. This is a beginner-friendly canning recipe. If you've never pressure canned before, this is a good one to start with because it is so simple. So green beans are a low acid food, meaning that they must be pressure canned in order for it to be safe. Now, when I was growing up, my mom canned green beans in a water bath canner, but she used vinegar. And I use vinegar when I'm doing okra or some squash that I'm going to fry later on, but I do not want the vinegar in my green beans. So we're just going to pressure can these because personally I like pressure canning way better than I like water bath canning anyway. So to the quart jars, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, and you do not have to add the salt if you don't want it, but you know, you have to have salt for flavor to me. And then since the green beans are at room temperature, the jars are at room temperature, I'm going to put room temperature water. That's very important when you're canning. If your jars are hot, then your product needs to be hot, and your water also needs to be hot. But we're starting off with everything room temperature. We're going to go ahead and debubble the jars, and that just means we're going to move the product around and get any air bubbles that might be trapped so we can make sure that we have the right headspace. And we're going to do a 1-inch headspace, which is at the very bottom lip of that jar. Now, it's not to me, it's just not, you don't have to be perfect about it, is what I'm trying to say. But you do want it close to that. If it's too much over 1-inch headspace, then you know you have a risk of it bubbling out your jar. The product will, you know, pressurize and bubble out of the jar and cause the seal to mess up. So we don't want that either. I'm going to go ahead and clean the rim of my jar with a paper towel and some vinegar, and then we're going to get these jars in the canner for 25 minutes. So if you like videos like this one, please consider subscribing to our channel. We appreciate those that have already subscribed. It helps our channel out so much. So like I said, I'm using my Presto pressure canner. These will go in for 25 minutes for quarts. And then when they come out, I let them sit on the counter for 24 hours to make sure that they have sealed, and then we'll put them in our pantry.